What the hell is going on with WWE Raw tonight? A walkout. A walkout. If you ever heard, there's been a walkout on WWE Raw tonight. Hey guys, this is the latest SmackDown followed to you by AW Aaron Warrior. And yes, if you like this wrestling channel, share, subscribe to it. Pass the notification bell for streams and videos. But yes, if you're watching Raw's on right now, but I think this is a very important subject. Apparently, not apparently, but it's been reported that the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions walked on a Raw. And the WWE Tag Team Champions, Women's Tag Team Champions, are the Boss Sasha Banks and Naomi. They walked on a Raw. Apparently, what happened is this is from Fightful. Fightful, part of Fightful Select. So, as you know, they advertised a 6-woman match, and the winner gets to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title at Hell in a Cell. But fortunately, something happened that changed the plans, and it's Asuka versus Becky Lynch in the main event, and whoever wins that faces Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. Apparently, the original six women were supposed to be Becky, Doudrop, Nikki S.H., Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Naomi. But Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. So apparently, this is from Fightful Select. The main event was changed. Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. Okay. Sasha Banks was involved to be in a six-pack challenge, as I said. Sasha Banks had a meeting with Vince McMahon and voiced her displeasure about a situation and wouldn't budge on her stance. Neither would Vince. Naomi was also involved, but we haven't specifically heard that Naomi was involved, but she and Sasha Banks left before the start of the show because he's champion with her. She's partners with them. We were told that there were hastily produced segments to set up the change, but they were also reflected in the one-downs that were handed out before the show. By the time it was announced for WWE, word had made it outside the company. Several people were backstage at the show confirmed the Fightful that the duel left. Remember, they advertised it. Now, so apparently Sasha Banks and had a disagreement with McMahon on how the main event should go. So so who was supposed to win this match was Naomi. Naomi was supposed to win this match and face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell. And Naomi, while they're tag team champions, women's tag team, they could go brand to brand. Naomi is still technically a SmackDown superstar. If she loses the tag team championships with Sasha Banks, she's still a SmackDown superstar. But this would indicate that she won and she wins the title. She'd be going for she would have the Raw Women's title, right, on the Raw brand. But now WWE statement. I'm gonna get the statement from my friend SRS. WWE did release a statement. This is courtesy Sean Wassap of Fightful. And this is a statement that released. I'm going to read it for you guys because I don't think you can see, but I'll read it for you guys. So, when Sasha Banks and Naomi, remember this is from WWE, when Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE's head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis' office with their suitcase in hand, placed their tag team championship belts on his desk, and walked out. So they're willing to give up the tag team titles, basically. They're probably gonna either be stripped or they're gonna lose this very quickly. They claimed they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, which is bullshit. Actually, I thought they were. Whatever. And even though they thought they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they had mastered those individuals in the past and no consequences. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show with characters who are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret we're unable to deliver as advertised at this main event. So, they didn't like the ending. They had issues apparently. The rehearsal stuff. They have issues apparently with certain talent in this match, even though they work with their opponents in the past. I know Sasha Banks and Naomi have worked with Becky Lynch, Nikki S.H., and Asuka. But I know they haven't worked. I know Dewdrop's not the only one they worked with. They haven't worked with Dewdrop, but that doesn't say that because they says here they worked with these two in the past. So it can't be Dewdrop. It has to be either the four: Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Nikki Cross. It has to be two of those three because it can't be Dewdrop. And you could speculate who it is. You could say it's Asuka, Becky, or Nikki. I don't know. I don't know if there's any heat. I don't know if there's no any heat with Naomi, Sasha, with these three because I know it's not Dewdrop because it says with the past. I don't know. I don't know who. You could speculate. We'll probably find out who it is because if that's the case, shame on these two. There's a lot of people coming to their defense, but I agree Naomi should not be the win. But if this is the case about not comfortable, even though they had passed, it must be a personal thing. Must be a personal thing. Because if it says work in the past, it has to be a personal thing. I don't know. I want to find out who. I'm curious because that's going to come out. Who do they have heat with? Who they're not comfortable working with because of the past? They have worked in the past. I want to know if that's the case. If they walk out, strip them the titles, and you know what? Suspend them. I know a lot of people are going to go after me on this, but when in sports, when players walk out on their team like that, do that kind of stuff, walk on their team, not show up. You know what you do? You suspend them and fine them. Do that. Do that. Doesn't matter whose side you're on. Do that. Because if this is true, it makes the opponents that they're going to face, I wouldn't be happy. If Dewdrop and Nikki S.H. are not in the match anymore because it became a singles match, if I was those two, I'll be pissed off with these. I would be very angry with Sasha Banks and Naomi. I would be angry. I'm frustrated because I'll be angry that was about to be used, and all of a sudden, nope. Yes, I would be angry if I was those two. You gotta do something. You gotta. I don't care how big of a star Sasha Banks is or Naomi is. You gotta set a standard. You gotta do something. Strip them the titles. That's what they kind of want, right? Because they put the titles on the belts. They basically want. And you know what? Suspend them. I don't know. Do something. You gotta punish them. I'm not taking a side on the WWE. I'm taking this. Well, yeah, it sounds like I am, but you gotta do something. You can't let this. Even though they didn't like what the creative is, you can't be unprofessional. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Thank you. Now I'm gonna go finish Raw tonight, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment below.